Have you come here to enter into marriage without coercion, freely and wholeheartedly? Are you prepared as you follow the path of marriage to love and honor each other for as long as you both shall live? Are you prepared to accept children lovingly from God and to bring them up according to the law of Christ and his church? Since it is your intention to enter into the covenant of holy matrimony, join your right hands and declare your consent before God and his church. Let's rock. Are you walking through a storm that feels like it will never end? Do you wonder if life's storms have stolen the beauty from your life for good? You're in the right place. My name is Heather, and like you, I've been through a storm or two and wondered if life would ever be beautiful again. Here we share warriors' words, stories of discovering beauty after battles, and the worth in your wounds. Pick up your sword or boxing gloves and join the battle. Your words are powerful, my friends. Make them warrior words. I think we all know the promises that come next. In good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to be true and faithful, to love and honor all the days of life. They are beautiful words and beautiful promises. But I want to talk about one of the words I said in that intro, and that's the word covenant. Those words in the intro are said by the priest before the bride and the groom make their promises to each other. They are declaring in front of God, the priest, and everyone present that they are aware of the actions they are taking. They are aware of how serious they are, and that they are willing and able to make these lifelong vows. In other words, entering into a covenant. The church uses the word covenant instead of contract. And while they are similar words, there are differences. A covenant is a solemn promise. A contract is a legally binding agreement. Now, one of the biggest differences is that covenants are considered perpetual, binding for an indefinite period of time, whereas contracts usually have specific terms and a duration. Another key difference is that a covenant in the religious sense is a promise between people and God. It is considered sacred and unbreakable. When a bride and groom enter into the covenant of marriage or matrimony, they are not only making a solemn promise to each other, but also to God. So there are three parties to this solemn promise. And as we hear in Ecclesiastes 4, verse 12, a threefold cord is not easily broken. When a bride, a groom, and our Heavenly Father are joined together and each freely gives and accepts, this is that cord of three strands. It cannot and should not be broken. And that is why at the end of the vows, the actual moment that a bride and a groom become sacramentally married, they become one flesh. The priest will say, "What God has joined, let no man put asunder." What God has joined. God is becoming part of this couple and is what binds them together as one flesh. And now let's go back to the beginning, that beginning question that the priest asks. Have you come here to enter into marriage without coercion, freely and wholeheartedly? In order for God to join this cord of three strands, the couple must also join of their own free will and be willing to give and receive all of the other. God does not force himself. He wants to be invited. But when the couple answers this question truthfully and invites God to make them one flesh, watch out, because there is nothing that's impossible for God. Now, the couple will undoubtedly face hurdles and difficulties. They will be tested and tried. If they remember that God is part of their covenant, there will be nothing the three of them can't do or handle together. Now, come to facebook.com/groups/warrior words and share with us a time that you witnessed the power of that three-stranded cord. Now, before I go, I want to officially dedicate this episode and the next Friday's episode to my beloved daughter and son-in-law, as this episode is being released on the day they make that sacred, unbreakable covenant with God and become one flesh. And yes, I said son-in-law instead of son-in-law, because I think the phrase son-in-law, at least to me, implies that contract, whereas son-in-law implies that covenant. So I love you both, and that's it for now. Remember, armor up, fight the good fight, seek beauty, and make your words warrior words. God bless.